הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. So we have Hanukkah just peering around the corner. We're in that Shabbat right before Hanukkah. We don't want to throw all of the Hanukkah stuff out yet and get overwhelmed with latkes and all of that stuff quite yet, but we'll get just a little taste of Hanukkah tonight. But of course, we're here really to celebrate Shabbat, to take a moment amidst all the craziness of this season, to take a breath, to be present with community, and to pray. We're also thrilled that this Shabbat we have some special guests. We're welcoming our nifty SAR President Kenley Griffman and Recruitment Chair and TBE teen Rosie Smolowitz, who we'll hear from later in the service. Our teens are here from all across the region for the weekend. The regional board is having a retreat, so we hope that the retreat is restorative and fun and rejuvenating. And welcome to Temple Bethel. We're so happy to have you here. So while we're making introductions, I'll invite you just to take a moment to introduce yourself to someone who you did not come here with. So turn to the north, south, east, and west and wish someone new a Shabbat Shalom and say hello.
We also have people who are joining us from around the world on live stream and on Facebook Live. And so actually there's two cameras that are right behind you on the walls. But if you turn around, and we're going to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are home and around the world. Tomorrow morning, Matthew DeSantis is becoming a bar mitzvah in our community, and we are excited to invite Matthew to come on up with his mom and his sister and family. If you'll come forward.
Apparently I need help.
Okay.
Let it go. Smell it.
With our powers combined.
The light at some point when you feel
I think it's lit now. No? Yeah, it goes. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. In our family, we start singing the Hanukkah tune, and then all of a sudden the Shabbat tune it takes us a while to get back to the Shabbat tune after. So this is our last week before Hanukkah tune happens.
Just hold it.
There we go. For you. And we continue with Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratza b'hanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratza, inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, v'mikrahei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinachaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim.
Matthew, we are excited for you to lead services for us tomorrow morning and to teach us Torah and, of course, to chant the Haftarah and to do all the things that are enabled us to have Shabbat morning here at Temple Bethel. And we wish you a Mazel Tov in advance. You're going to be okay. Matthew, I just kind of say something. Matthew just took a very deep breath, which may have looked kind of like a sigh, but it was a deep breath. We're all going to be okay. Mazel Tov in advance. If you guys will take a seat, and we will see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
While we have our anticipatory simchas tomorrow morning, we also take a moment to share any wonderful things that have happened in your life in the past week, recently, so that we can celebrate as a community. Is there anyone who would like to share a simcha? Yes, Rabbi Knight.
Rabbi Ertlein came back to work this week after getting married in Pentecostal here.
The simcha me coming back, or the wedding, or
Yes.
Yes. I got to come back, and there was just a party waiting for me. It was so lovely. It definitely wasn't our holiday party. It was for me, for sure. Any other? It could be something big. It can be something small. Yes. Beautiful. Absolutely. Well, we're so glad to hear that you're feeling that warm embrace of community. That's what this is for. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. I am still Rabbi Erdheim. I am and always will be Rabbi Erdheim. So start to figure out how to say Erdheim. That's always a challenge. Yes, Alan. That's incredible. Your son being recognized for being an upstander, getting a good kind of call from the principal to say what immense your son is. And we at Temple Bethel know what immense both your children are. Well, we'll join together with the words of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh
Excitement and urgency, we run to greet the Sabbath bride, to welcome the peace and beauty of Shabbat with the words of the Chadodi.
Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor ledibor echad Hishvianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad Lishem u'tiferet v'litilah Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mikor haberacha merush bikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh berachim b'kila lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Kiva orechu miori Uri Shir daveri Kivot Adonai Alechila Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tola Toch emunei am segula Boi kala Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yaladai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Yalalai lai lai Yalalai lai lai Yalalai lai lai Yalalai lai lai Yalalai la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Borechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
We read together the words of Mariv Arvim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitzbuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, vehoshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi laila, uma'avdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha bechol
לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh fele, Nora tehilot oseh fele, Adonai imloch leolam laed. Malechutecha ra'u banecha, okei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zelianu ve'ameru, Zelianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
When the rain patters on the roof, the wind howls outside our door, when the temperature drops and drops and drops, when darkness descends, there's no more wonderful feeling in the world than being in our home, wrapped in a blanket, warm, cozy. That feeling of comfort, releasing the tension from our forehead and our shoulders, unclenching our fists, letting our body relax, knowing that we are safe. We pray that every living being should experience that feeling, that warm, comforting feeling of safety, this kind of comfort and love.
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu lishalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu lishalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us with hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu lishalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkiveinu
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. The people of Israel shall protect Shabbat. When we think about things that we protect, we might think about people that we love, about sacred objects. We think about things. But what we're taught in Jewish tradition is that it's just as important to protect our time, to guard the 25 hours of Shabbat from the rest of time, from the rest of our daily lives. It's a powerful and important reminder that time, just like a family heirloom or a carton of eggs in a grocery bag, must be protected. We have to draw boundaries to cushion it, to ensure its survival. How often in our lives do we forget to protect our time? How often do we allow our time to be infringed upon by other people, by obligations? When we protect time, we protect our physical and our mental well-being. We protect our relationships and our loved ones. When we protect time, we protect ourselves.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai Sifatai Tifta Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu
Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot, ומביגולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו מאהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, וביתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. I want to invite you to take a deep breath in and out. This time of year can be overwhelming. There is so much to do. Sometimes it feels like we need to be in more than one place at a time. And if we've learned anything from Hermione Granger, we should know that's not a feasible way to live. So let's embrace this moment of silence and the moment of a day of quiet, this holiday that demands that we protect our time, this holiday of Shabbat that's about being fully in one place at one time. It's about embracing the holiness of nothing, the holiness of quiet and stillness.
Shalom Raham al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Raham al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובחושך בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
As we pray for abundant wholeness, for Shalom Rav, to grace the entire planet, our hearts turn to those in our lives who are in need of healing, who are in need of a little bit of that wholeness. On our screens, on our walls, you'll see the names of individuals in our community who we're thinking of this Shabbat for Misha Berach, for a blessing of healing and wholeness. If there's someone in your life who you're thinking of, I invite you to share their name as I look around the congregation.
מי שבהרה אבותינו מקור הברכה ואימותינו, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mikor haberacha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Oh, there could be more Shabbat Shalominess than that. Shabbat Shalom. That's significantly better. Thank you. I want to teach you something this evening, a text from the Torah. And this text that is from this week's Torah portion is about perhaps one of the most important figures that we have in the Torah, one of the most important people in the Torah that it is possible that you do not know about. Right? So, and I want to also connect this to the upcoming holiday of Hanukkah. So, Torah portion to the holiday of Hanukkah, which don't usually connect whatsoever, and then hopefully maybe a connection to our own lives. I want you to look at the screen, and we're going to put up onto the screen the text from this week's Torah portion, from Parashat Vayeshev. And it is this Torah portion from which Matthew will be chanting tomorrow. I know. Okay. So Genesis 37 says, one time when his brothers had gone to pasture their father's flock at Shechem, Israel, that is previously Jacob, said to Joseph, you know Joseph, the one with a coat of many colors, the Technicolor dream coat. He said, your brothers are pasturing at Shechem, come and I will send you to them. And he answered, I'm ready. And he said to him, that is to say, Israel said to Joseph, go and see how your brothers are and how the flocks are faring, and bring me back word. So he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and when he reached Shechem, a man came upon him wandering in the fields. And the man asked him, what are you looking for? And he answered, I'm looking for my brothers. Could you tell me where they are pasturing? And the man said, they have gone from here, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. So Joseph followed his brothers and found them in Dothan. Now you're probably thinking, that is one of the most important figures in the Torah? You mean Joseph, right? The one with the coat of many colors. I'm not talking about Joseph. I'm talking about the man with no name. Because this individual, this person with no name, he fundamentally shifts and changes the course of history for our people. Think about it this way. Without Joseph going to see his brothers, he wouldn't have been captured by his brothers, thrown into the pit, sold into slavery, taken down to Egypt, then become the second in command of Egypt, saved the Egyptians, brought his family ultimately from Israel to Egypt, then settled all of the Israelites in Egypt, then ultimately becoming slaves in Egypt, and then ultimately having to, of course, be freed from Egypt by God and Moses 400 years later. Does that make sense? Without this one turn of events of a man that comes upon Joseph in the field, showing him where his brothers were in Dothan, without that happening, the entire course of the rest of the Torah doesn't happen the same way. The most important person that you've likely never heard of in the Torah, a no-named individual that changes the course of history. I want to talk about that with the next slide. The idea that one person and one choice changes the world. Now, you might say to me, that's serious chutzpah, Rabbi. That's a lot of audacious thinking, that one little person can change the course of the world. But here's the idea. The idea is that you never know the kind of effect that you're going to have on someone else. That the way that you act, the way that we express love and kindness and compassion and grace to others has what some call the butterfly effect, but has this way of sort of changing how people experience the world and go through life. And it is true. We sincerely believe in Judaism. It is true that making sometimes simple choices doesn't require going into it with the idea that we're making a name for ourselves, but going into it just being kind and gracious, like this individual in the field. Hi, what's your name? Where are you going? Can I help you find your way? A really simple act of kindness that changes the course of history. Well, that's nice. That's a great teaching about the Torah portion. Let's continue, and I want to connect it to Hanukkah. We'll continue with the Eitz Chaim commentary. The Eitz Chaim commentary, which is in the next slide, says, "We never hear of this man again. Yet if Joseph had not met him, he would never have found his brothers. He never would have been sold into slavery. The family would not have followed him into Egypt. There would have been no exodus. The history of the world would have been so different. Do we ever know the consequences of the little acts of thoughtfulness that we perform?" And that is the connection to the miracle of Hanukkah. What is the miracle of Hanukkah? Well, the miracle of Hanukkah, as told to us by Rabbi David Hartman, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be for a blessing. Rabbi Hartman says in the next slide, the miracle of the first day was expressed in the community's willingness to light a small cruse of oil without reasonable assurance that their efforts would be sufficient to complete the rededication of the temple. Let's stop right there. You know the story. The Maccabees, yay. Defeated Antiochus Epiphanes, boo. Right? And they went to go to the temple, and they go to the temple, and it is desecrated. And as my son Jonas likes to say, there were pigs in there, so it was not good, right? He said, when I told the story at his first grade class, he said, "You forgot the pigs, Dad." And they go to rededicate the temple. They clean out the temple. They go to rededicate it. They find, as the Talmud tells us in Tractate Shabbat, they find one cruse of oil, right? Enough for one day. And they go to light it, and you know the story. It didn't last for 1 day or 2 days, all the way through 8 days and 8 nights. Beautiful, lovely. Rabbi Hartman says that it's a beautiful miracle story, but that's actually not the miracle. The miracle is something else. The miracle, he says, is expressed by those who lit the lamp. And not only the miracle, the lamps continued burning for 8 days, but he adds, quote, the next slide, the miracle of the Jewish spiritual survival throughout its history of wandering and oppression may be best described by our people's strength to live without guarantees of success and to focus on how to begin a process without knowledge of how it would end. That's what it means to live with chutzpah. To know that success does not mean that starting off and starting living with strength means that there are no guarantees of success, and that we don't always know how things are going to end. Uncertainty of success often paralyzes one's initiative to act. The miracle of Hanukkah is the act of choosing to light the light in the first place. In the most dark period of time of the year that we have, whether that is literally or figuratively, the miracle is our choice to light the light. That's it. There's no assurance that there is going to be success. But somehow our Jewish tradition encourages us to be like the no-named individual, to live with hope and compassion and grace and kindness, to be the light in the midst of darkness, and to know that just lighting the light in your actions is miracle number one. Hanukkah occurs at the darkest time of the year. And as it gets darker and darker and darker outside, each night inside we progressively add more light. And I want to suggest that repetitive actions of kindness adds more light. Drawing people in to our families and our communities adds more light. And then when it's darkest out, whether it's because of the experience that we're experiencing in the world, or because it's quite literally dark outside because there's no moon, the act of chutzpah of lighting the candle and choosing to live well has untold consequences that may not be felt for a very long time. We light the candles this year. We choose to act this year with compassion and love and kindness. We choose to do so because we believe, even though we don't know what will happen, that those acts of compassion and kindness can change the world. History has taught us that it often does. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach, and I invite you to please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. At this time, we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season and years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts as our own. And I just said that we can be like that no-named character who changes the world, but the truth is that the people that we love, they had names that meant something to us. And the truth is that there are going to be names that are read out loud and on the list for whom you don't know. And those names meant the world to people in this room, or at home, or in our community. They lit up the world and the lives of people that we love. And so we remember them. We honor them by saying their names out loud, by standing when the names of your loved one are read, by standing as a community when it's time to honor all whom we remember. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days after the deaths of Edward Ted son Hesburgh, Martin Markowitz, and Tim Martin. We remember with sympathy and sadness the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Gregory Barkin, Ina Barron, Milton Berkowitz, Miriam Berlin, Barbara Beer, Stephanie Walker Block, Albert William Block, Edward Brody, Yetta Bruckstein, Susan Coben, Judith Katzen Cohen, Bernice Cohan, Carl Cohen, Sylvia Dennis, John Dickin Drew, Hattie Rachel Eichenbaum, Alan Eichenbaum, Clara Epstein, Seymour Speedy Feinstein, David Fellerman, Leon Frischleiser, Fortune Frua, Stephen Gainsborough, Zachary Galinkin, Joseph Globerman, Molly Goldfarb, Francis Goldstein, Ernestine Griffinhagen, Peggy Endel Gutenberg, Jack Morris Hurd, Saul Jacobs, Raymond Jacobson, Irving Kaufman, Beatrice Kalefsky, Walter Abraham Knopf, William Monroe Knott III, Sonia Kornblit, Celia L. Koch, Sidney Koch, Betty Levin, Joseph Levine, Bennett Lyons, Sally Maldonado, Jamie Meter, Israel Naaman, Jonette Olinger, Cheryl Pepper, Rose Pepper, Arnold Reeder, Shirley K. Reeder, Melba Ryback, Florence Rosen, Joseph Rosenbaum, Morris Rosker, Herbert J. Roskind, Miriam G. Ross, Ruben Salant, Carl Shear, Paul Schenkel, Felix Schmers, Beverly Seidel Selden, Evelyn Braverman Sfera, Peggy Shaneberg, Bertha Schakowsky, Edward T. Siegel, Sylvia Silbert, Malik Specterman, Frida Sterling, Samuel Strauss, Harry M. Warhaftig, and Irene Weissmuller. If there is someone here who is remembering someone whose name was not read, we invite you to say their name out loud. Thank you. Remember as well all who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust, our American servicemen and first responders who gave their lives defending us, and those who died defending the state of Israel. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing as we rise as one congregational family to remember those names whose lives gave light to ours. Yitzgadal vayitzkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lamei olamaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnatzeh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael,
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to invite forward, before we have Jen, before you come up, we're going to invite forward Rosie Smolowitz. Rosie, come on forward. I know you're bringing up some nifty leaders with you. Is that okay? Sure. Rosie is a Temple Bethel teen. She has been a leader in our community, and when I say has been, I mean she is a leader in our community. And on top of all of that, she's also the recruitment chair. Is that right? It's like is that the title of it now? Okay, I wasn't sure. The recruitment chair of Nifty SAR Regional Board. And as they're having a board meeting, we also have a presentation that Rosie is going to give as well.
Shabbat Shalom. I serve as Nifty SAR's recruitment chair, which is our regional youth group. In a few months, I'll be volunteering as a counselor for Camp Jenny. This is Lainey Wiseman. She's the co-director for Camp Jenny. She's the one running it. Camp Jenny is an amazing program that for over 30 years has been giving kids from an urban school in Atlanta a safe, fun camp experience over Memorial Day weekend. Campers get to make lifelong memories and receive the love of their big brothers and sisters. Besides all the fun that they have, they also receive 3 nutritious meals a day and unlimited amounts of encouragement and support for their futures. Camp Jenny is free for all the different campers, which means we rely completely on fundraising. This past year, Temple Bethel Religious School chose Camp Jenny as one of its tzedakah recipients. Our clergy have generously added to the religious school's collection, and I'm proud to share that Temple Bethel is donating $720 to support Camp Jenny. Thank you guys so much. If you'd like to learn more about Camp Jenny and how to support this important program, please find Lainey Wiseman or any of the Nifty SAR board members at the ONEG. We'd love to talk with you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Rosie, thank you for your leadership. I'd like to invite forward a member of our board of directors, Jen Clark.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Clark. I am one of the newer board members, so this is my first time, and I'll try not to let the microphone make me feel like I have too much power. I have to say this was such a treat being here tonight because I have a 16-month-old, and I usually go to the baby services on Friday nights because this is after his bedtime. But it was just so wonderful seeing Matthew and his family. And I'm very excited for this big moment that you have tomorrow. So advance Mazel Tov also. So I'm here to give some announcements today. So the first is Hanukkah is 2 days away, if you weren't aware. Beginning this Sunday evening, December 18th, join clergy and staff each night of Hanukkah until December 25th at 6 p.m. for virtual candle lighting. Visit our calendar online for the links. The Shabbat Hanukkah service will begin at 6 p.m. on Friday, December 23rd. Don't forget to bring your Hanukkah and candles so we can light them together as a congregation. Dinner will follow services. Please register for that by this Monday, December 19th. Mark your calendars for 2 exciting congregational programs in early 2023. The first one is that we will have a Shabbat of celebration for Rabbi Lexi Erdheim's installation, February 3rd and 4th, so please save the date. And I have some insider info on this, and I think it'll be a really wonderful weekend. The second is the person who wrote this really put me on the spot here, but time now for this Shabbat in 80s history. Did you know that this week in 1989, The Simpsons debuted? Featuring Krusty the Clown, a proud Jew. Speaking of proud Jews, this is a great time to tell you that on March 11th, we're having an 80s dance party to celebrate Temple Bethel's 80th anniversary. Rediscover your spandex and be ready to do the Bartman at our 80s dance party. Grab registration details at the door on your way out. I'll be there, so that'll be really fun. A reminder that tickets are on sale for the Jewish Federation of Greater Charlotte's main event, annual campaign kickoff on Thursday, January 19th at 7 p.m. at Temple Israel. Emmy Award-winning Yes, Emmy Award-winning co-anchor of ABC News Nightline, Juju Chang, will share her journey to Judaism and Jewish identity and discuss the historical parallels between Asian hate and anti-Semitism. Visit jewishcharlotte.org to register. Finally, Temple offices will be closed the week of December 26th to December 30th to give our staff time to refresh and recharge before the new year. I was really happy to read that. Shabbat services on Friday, December 30th and Saturday, December 31st will take place as scheduled. Clergy on call is always available for pastoral emergencies as needed. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Jen. We invite everyone to the Oneg, which is right outside. Afterwards, we're going to conclude this evening by singing Ma'ot Tzor, getting ready for Hanukkah.
Ma'ot Tzor Yeshuati Lechana El Shabeya Tichon Beit Tefilati Bisham Toda Nizabeya Le'etavit Mateya Nifaham Naveya Azek Mor Beshir Mizmor Hanukat HaMizbeya Azek Mor Beshir Mizmor Hanukat HaMizbeah, Rock of Ages, let our song praise your saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes, let our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but unavailed us. And thy word broke their swords when our own strength failed us. And your word broke their swords when our own strength failed us.
I think we should all thank Patty for her years of experience. Thank you, Patty. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
I think that this is for Lainey, right? This is for Lainey, right? This one's for Lainey. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
so much.